Man, come on, you already know MMOEXP, the best coin website to get your FC26 coins. Get a huge jump start to your teams. I'm talking Mbappe's, I'm talking some of the best cards in the game, man. META, that's code META for the best cheapest coins. Check first link in description. Also, 8% off, god damn. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have Rashford right there. Yeah. Let's get into it, man. Now, we obviously got the 86 versus the 86. Striker versus right winger. Now, yeah, I think did a decent job in terms of like trying to, you know, make people think which one to choose. But I feel like there is, I wouldn't say a clear choice. I do think in terms of this meta, right, and a Rashford card, I think the right wing one actually fits better in terms of like being an overall, you know, like Rashford card. Obviously, he has more pace, less shooting, yes, but more passing. Now, when it comes to a longevity card, I'm actually going to showcase why I'm saying the right winger is the better one. Now, when you come to actually looking at the overall cards, yes, retrospectively or like overall, right, you're looking at the 86 and he has like good stats overall, but there's some stats that are just really not great when it comes to the overall meta of a card, right? He's got power shot base compared to the right winger that has finesse shot base. Now we know how overpowered finesse shot is in this game, boys. Like it is absolutely overpowered when it comes to in the air, when it comes to precision, when it comes to low drivens. So anything on that scale is amazing. Now, with a striker, I feel like if the striker version had the finesse shot base, then that was the easy choice. You know, you can just choose the striker. But I do think, correct me if I'm wrong, there is a playstyle plus that you can get. I think it's the finesse shot plus. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you have the finesse shot plus by any means, and you can actually fit it into the Rashford striker one, by all means, save it up and then do the striker straight up. Because I feel like in terms of like actually looking at the stats and like retrospectively, like overall, I think if he had a better playstyle or playstyles in general, then I do think the striker one is the better choice. But then it kind of also goes on the cusp of he's got 76 stam, very, very bad stam. You know, when it comes to like the overall game, stamina actually plays a huge role. The right winger one has stamina increased 90. Do you know what I mean? He has a little bit less strength and a little bit less, obviously, aggression. And jumping a little bit less, but that doesn't really matter too much. Dribbling stats kind of look pretty similar. You can always add something to boost. Like both of them don't look like the best dribblers, I'll be real, both versions. But I do think if you just add a chem style for the right winger version, like a finisher, it ups his reactions, you know, composure goes up, and it does overall look like a better card in general. The right winger one, that is. Passing, much better, bro. Significantly better than the 83. He's got 89 vision, you know, very nice crossing. He can be a chance creator. What I like about the right winger version is he's a chance creator, and he can also be that guy that is potent. Now, the only issue about the right winger is he's right winger and he's right-footed, bro. Come on, EA. What are we doing, bro? Now, we know how overpowered a finesse shot is irrespective. It's just a little bit of a shocker right there. And doesn't he play left wing for Barca, bro? What are we doing? So I don't know what's moving there, but I do think also having 4 less finishing stats compared to 85, it's actually not that big of a deal, especially if you add a finisher. I do think the shot power kind of, you could say, alleviates or compensates for lack of finishing in this game in general, you know, in FC or FIFA. Like if you have good shot power, it makes the card much better in terms of finishing irrespective. So yeah, long shots, you know, it's okay, bro, like with the striker. And then this one has much more, not, I wouldn't say much more, but like 3-4 more stats for pace. He's got inside forward plus, which is amazing for the right winger. And then obviously the striker one has advanced forward only plus. Doesn't have the plus, you see. So, and yeah, I do think if we were to really look at it overall, boys, I think the right winger one is the play right there. Tell me in the comments which one do you guys think is the best one. Obviously, everyone has their own opinions, but I feel like from a meta perspective and scale, it also sucks that they don't have a playstyle plus. But you can always add one in the future, I feel like. But yeah, also one thing I wanted to say is if you have the Evo, if you know which one I'm trying to say, any Evo of Rashford, there's no point to be doing this SPC, bro. If you don't have the Evo, I think there is a point, because at 200 to 250, Rashford in general kind of fits the meta of this game, man. I think more so, you could even say, I don't know, man, striker or winger. I think Rashford can fit both versions, man, because I used him at left mid and I used him at striker, and he was still cooking. He kind of is dissipating at winger because he's a little bit lanks, you know, in terms of like stature and stuff. So you do have to bear in mind that. The only issue is as well with the right winger, he's not versatile for positions. So there's a lot of like different stats, but I think overall, man, we can all just agree that the right winger one, I think, is the better one. Because if you choose the striker one, I mean, bro, like there's just no stats like that really want me to get the card. You know, power shot, come on, bro, 76 stam. Do you know what I mean? You're much better off just getting the right winger one in general. But yeah, tell me in the comments, boys, do you agree with that? That's pretty much my take on it. I do think the right winger one from a meta scale is the better choice. Yeah, very, very decent card as well. I just feel like EA could have at least upped the finishing in general. Like maybe made the 86 striker one to like 88 finishing, and then the 86 right winger one to at least 85 finishing. Like, what are we doing with 81 finishing, bro? I get it with the power curve and stuff, but come on, there's much better evos that can even have, you know, better stats than this card. But yeah, let's actually check what people are saying in the comment section. Which one is the better one? We can also check by the likes and dislike ratio. That's always a good shout. So 825 dislikes for the right winger one, and then 824 dislikes. So people in general just don't like this content. Fair enough. Yeah, that's pretty similar. And then the likes, 258 and then 325. So most people is actually opting more for the right winger one, which kind of makes sense, man, from the scale of this game. So I'm also checking for, as I said, finisher. You know, I did say that, so I do think finisher is the play. It goes to 90 finishing, 96 dribbling. So composure, you can't, I forgot, it doesn't get the finisher. He goes to 261 in-game stats. Oh, you already had that, sorry. And then plus 45, let's check here. What are people adding for the striker? They're also still adding a finisher. He goes to 94 finishing. That's pretty nice, I can't lie, with 97 dribbling, 87 reactions. It's really a tough one the more you look at it. But if I were to choose one, I don't know, I'm just opting more for the right winger one, bro. I just feel like the finesse helps it a lot. So yeah, let me know, boys. What are you going to choose if you're going to do this card as well? It's currently coming in at 250,000 coins as well. By the way, this Evo that just came out looks insane. You can actually Evo Pele. What are we doing? Check you boys in the next one. Have a sweet one, man. Peace.